I will try to put these from worst to best in my eyes. Bad tier. Our only member of bad tier is Massive Cephalopod, considering it's just a giant squid. I'm sorry, I love playing you, but you are just... Oh, you could have been so much more. You could have been so much more, and instead, you were dinner. Passable, but there are flaws tier. The only time that Shin is going to be in anything other than the complete bottom tier is design. While I love True Form or Fourth Form Shin, this is just terrible. It's literally just a sausage. It's a walking sausage. A walking, blood-spitting, terrible statted, terrible moveset sausage. But for the reason that he's essentially like a middle stage starter Pokemon, he's passable for that reason alone. If he was fourth form, he would be way higher, but considering what he is meant to be, this is suitable. Blade Face. Never seen his movie, don't really care about his franchise, and he looks like he has the largest nose ever. This gargoyle abomination might as well be just fresh out of the plastic surgeon. Not exactly what I want from a giant kaiju that destroys cities. Obsidius is possibly the most boring lava monster I have ever seen in my life. But it's still a lava monster, so it's cooler than everything else that came before it. Now, I love me some classic Godzilla. Gigan is not one of those things I like about classic Godzilla. He looks dumb. I'll say it, he does look a bit dumb. The laser coming from the eyes wasn't even the first movie. You could have chosen anything other than a goose. It looks like a goose that somebody strapped scythe hands to. Which is really funny until you remember how absolutely vicious geese are. So then it starts to make sense. That's why he's better than everything else up to this point. Decently good tier. Gorosaurus. A dinosaur. That's basically it. It's just a dinosaur, but it's higher than all the others that are just an animal or just this, because dinosaurs are awesome. Now, this design isn't bad per se, I just think it's quite bland, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even notice that there was the skull in the centre for the first, 50 times viewing it, or the fact that there was a weird red splodge either. It looks like it's incomplete. It's either incomplete or there should be less to it, because it feels just wrong. I don't like it. But then again, that's kind of the point of Evangelion, so, That would imply that I would know what is going on in Evangelion, which I don't. It's bloody nuts. Just a robot. But it is a cool robot, I'll give it that. It's got flamethrowers, it's got big flamethrowers. I don't know, I haven't watched Pacific Rim. I don't understand its abilities wise, but I do like the idea that it's just a big hulking robot that was built to kill giant monsters, and you get to pilot that thing and fight. That's awesome. I love the concept, I love the design. Well, I love the design a lot less than I do the concept, but I do like the design. But that also doesn't really save it from being sort of bland, to be honest. It's just not got the same stuff that other monsters / robots or kaiju, whatever, are higher up do. Now, before you crucify me for putting the original 1954 Godzilla into essentially the mid-tier, it's past its time. It has. I'm sorry. I was born in, this millennium, so I actually do understand the idea that this creature, while being really cool, was an actual just rubber suit. So it has to get deducted a few points from being a rubber suit. Despite being a really cool thing in a black and white rubber suit, it was a rubber suit. And that does not exactly help it, especially considering, I mean, come on, some people done so much better stuff with 1954 design, even still. But then there's a reason why more films got made, because it needs to be upgraded upon. I love late Showa just so much better than early. So much. It looks like a frog at some point, so guess what? It wasn't the worst. great tier. You can't go wrong with Heisei at any version, even 1984 or 1985 or whatever that one is. No matter what, Heisei is great. Not the best, but when you think Godzilla, this is Godzilla. Now, if this was a personality tier list, then JJ would be up at the top next to Legendary. But this isn't. This is a design tier list. And whilst I think JJ's singular point design is passable, it's just not the same as the others. Like, I see what they're trying to do. I see they're trying to be quirky and different, and that really helped for another kaiju we're going to see later down the list, but come on. They turned him into a fat guy with noodle arms. That's just weird. I haven't seen Pacific Rim, as I've said a lot of times, but still, no matter what, just look at him. He's awesome. Kinda. His design is great, don't get me wrong. It's just not for me, really. Never really had that much interest in giant robots whatsoever, but for a giant robot design that isn't Mechagodzilla, he's brilliant. I love him. Absolutely love him. And what's that right next to him? It's literally the Mechagodzilla I was just talking about, except, well, you're probably wondering, well, you just said you like Mechagodzilla, so why is he so low down then, you little git? Well, I like his design. I do. It just doesn't look as, right. Mechagodzilla's always seemed a bit boxy to me, like a big war machine. He looks like an animal that would have existed. That doesn't really work for me. I mean, it makes sense because he's built around the bones of the original Godzilla, but as a character, he's amazing, absolutely brilliant. I love the idea that Godzilla possesses him and then he goes on a rampage until Akane just essentially goes, you want to be buds? And it's like, yeah, oh, yeah, sure, why not? And then they just go off from there. I love that, but it's just, it doesn't really work that well in a fighting game sort of way because there's no personality in this game. You don't have to, that's why Jet Jaguar isn't at the top, that's why Legendary isn't at the top, that's why Kiryu is not going to be at the top. It's going to be down here, which is still a great design now. I'll give him that. I'll definitely give him that. He is best boy in personality, but only decent in design. Never seen Evangelion, don't care about Evangelion, but this is a cool design. I don't really get the whole ghost mother thing. It's just diet Kiryu for me, but I do think it's an original design. I think it's quite neat. Obligatory disrespect of runners, by the way, because just got to every video. Amazing tier. Yippee! Godzilla -1. Oh, I love this. I love this film. I love this design. But is it worthy of being amazing? Oh, absolutely. Just because it's in amazing doesn't mean it's not one of my top favourites. Everything in this tier is very close to one another. Specifically, everything in this tier is just a smidge off of each other. Which is why, if you put -1 over any of these next two, yeah, that would make sense to me. For a surprising 4th place pick, Sho Mechagodzilla. Sho Mechagodzilla is, I think he's neat. For being, 50 metres compared to a lot of the other taller ones, he's quite good. I think his weaponry is what really sells it to me. Rainbow laser vision. His head comes off, he survives, and has a laser inside of that. His fingers shoot missiles. He can make force fields. He's got electrical lasers out of his chest. Oh, it's so random, which is why I like it. Don't change Showa era, don't change. Also, you have to give him props to being in the one film where Godzilla somehow gets the force. Legendary Godzilla. Oh, this is... Remember when I said Heisei is the first thing you think of when you think of Godzilla? Well, Legendary is either your second or, for me, your first, because I grew up with the Legendary films. I'm sorry, I'm a youngster. I am a youngling. I am small and tiny. If you know me, that joke is going to be so much funnier. But anyway, Legendary is it's just a good design. He's got good personality, even though that doesn't really matter here. It just looks like Godzilla, but realistic or modern or whatever, without looking like a penguin or whatever that guy who draws realistic Godzilla monsters does. I mean, he turned Mothra into just a normal moth, and then Ghidorah gets turned into a giant electric eel ray thing that comes from Saturn. Anyway, Legendary is at the top of this tier because he's flipping legendary. My absolute favourite tier. My favourite mecha, possibly the most awesome mecha, and Slick even liked it enough to give it a better form. I mean, come on, it's perfect. It's just so good. It's big. It's brawly. Got a red laser beam to it and rocket punches. It's just, I like it, okay? It's one of those that you can't really explain, which is going to be for the next one, which I know is a very anticlimactic, I know, but let me have this. And to no one's surprise, it's Ultima. Yeah, it's Ultima. Ultima is the best character in the game. It just is. It's the law. Ultima is the best design of any Godzilla. Fight me. It is the best lore of any Godzilla. It is the best leafy back spines of any Godzilla. It has the best thunder fires. It's got the best beam charge up scene, except for maybe Shin, but nobody cares about Shin, except for, everyone, but don't listen to me, I'm not popular. I just think he's just neat. He's neat. I like the fangs. I like the fact that he's based off of Oni. I like the fact that he's based off of Eldritch Horrors, which Eldritch Horrors are awesome, by the way. Well, I need to see more of those in everything. Everything needs a good squid tentacle monster that exists beyond the boundaries of time and space. So, just look at it. So perfect. So completely perfect and utterly just so perfect. I'm not doing skins.